Hey, my name's Jay, namaste, and welcome to this short talk on what is self-inquiry and self-realization. So I've had a lot of questions from people, from students recently about how we practice this, and there's many different types of practices out there. Self-inquiry is coming to the understanding that, and dropping any labels or any identification with ourselves and the world around us. So, for example, with my students, we come into a meditation practice and I'll ask them to observe with their eyes closed and how their body is feeling and relaxing, and then observing the breath, and then observing any of the thoughts that come into the mind, bringing us to a realization that we can't be any of these things if we're able to observe them. So there's a greater prevailing awareness that is observing the physical body, is observing the breath, is observing any thoughts that come into the mind. And eventually, using an analogy like seeing that the clouds are just like thoughts and they come and they go, but within us all is this stillness, is this silence. And it doesn't even matter if life appears to be chaotic. Beyond what is chaotic is still this stillness, this silence, this peace, this love, and it never goes, and it's never been anywhere. And self-realization is about coming to that realization that self is what and who we really are. The most common mistake that people make is that they try to use the mind to understand the concept, but your mind is within the experience of self, and so you have to really remove the mind, remove thinking, and come into your own experience. So for example, if you're sitting in meditation and you go into that space in between having one thought to another, you're in that stillness. And quite often when you start with the practice of self-inquiry or meditation in general, you just notice a gap, a second between one thought, and then the thought comes in, oh no, I'm thinking again. It's quite common, that's what happens. But in that 1 second is the realization of self, is the stillness that's always there. The thoughts that come into our mind is just something that blocks or shifts our perception. And through our experiences, through our conditioning, through life, we've the mind's been built up to have many thoughts, to block us from seeing who we really are. And people say, well, who am I really? And it's love. It's the energy of love, and the energy of peace, and this stillness, this source energy sits within us all. The problem that we have to get over, and it's a problem as in because that's a perception that we have, is that we have chaotic minds through conditioning. So we spend our lives from a young age to the point that we come to this practice, we're learning so many things, and the mind being so busy, and the mind being quite often intellectually especially what we're all trying to aspire to. And then we become overwhelmed, we become tired, we become anxious, we become drained, and then we start to think, I have to slow this mind down. So you have to reverse, eventually unlearn so many of the things that you had learned, to understand that your existence is this stillness and this peace. And without taking the subject too far, we go out into our lives thinking that new car, that new house, that job, or these things on the outside is going to bring us that peace that we're looking for. And we even mentally justify the things that we do to try to bring us to that place. Then we accumulate everything, and then there's still something missing. And people will then continue to try and accumulate or go on expensive holidays, and then after the holidays come back and still something's missing. So self-inquiry is about, okay, look, dropping everything and coming into stillness, into silence. Even if the mind is busy, even if the dog is barking and the cat is meowing, children running around, this silence, this stillness, this love that is inside of us all never goes. It never leaves us. And when we connect to this space, and we come to this space more often and into this realization, we're also raising our vibration, and we start to draw in people around us and experiences around us that match that vibration. When we come to understand that we are already what we've been seeking, or what we've been looking for on the outside, it is right here, right now. And so this subject I can go in and talk for a long time, and can give many tips, and which I'll do on other videos as well. I just wanted to give you a short introduction to what self-inquiry means, and then in other videos I will do some meditations and take some questions as well. But it's remembering without thinking, sitting in your own inner silence, even if it's just for a moment. If you watch the breath with the inhale and exhale, stillness, silence, inner peace, love, and no labels, no I understand it or I don't understand it, good or bad, any kind of labels that come in. I can't is another one that I hear quite often. There's no I can't either, all just thoughts. Even how I'm sitting, a thought. And eventually, when you realize that you are this awareness that is observing that everything that's happening, the thoughts begin to disappear, almost like they're a phantom. They just start to disappear. And that notion that people often have that then you can't function in life is completely untrue. In fact, you function better because the universe is already trying to give you what you want to manifest into your life. But your thinking and you're trying to attain it is actually blocking you from receiving the abundance that you desire at a very deep level. So start by sitting down, start by being quiet, drop all concepts, all labels, and all identification with yourself and the world, even if it's just for a few minutes, and watch that grow. And I'll be back soon with more meditations, more videos, and more tips. So feel free to leave a comment below, or if you have any questions, and I shall see you again very soon, I hope. Namaste.